Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another video. This week, we are going to talk about a topic that I know all of you guys struggle with if you have been in a relationship with someone who's narcissistic. And this is more specifically when the relationship has ended. No matter whether or not you ended the relationship or they ended the relationship, there's always this question of, does this person miss me? Now, before we get into this week's video, if you have not subscribed to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Each week I post videos on a variety of topics. And by the way, my name is Stephanie. I'm a life and relationship coach. I feel like probably should have said that in the beginning. Hi, I'm Stephanie. Nice to meet you. So anyways, each week I talk about a lot of different topics. I talk about emotional abuse, I talk about narcissistic abuse, but more specifically, aside from all of that stuff, a lot of these videos, of course, they're educational because I'm teaching you about narcissism, I'm teaching you about emotional abuse, but the bigger thing is let me be your coach. This is free coaching. So what does coaching actually help you with? It helps you to create the future that you want. It helps you to move forward. You know, whereas therapy, I always say you kind of sit in the past. Why am I this way? What happened with mom and dad? What happened in this relationship, etc. And you kind of examine that. Coaching helps you go forward. So we're going to talk a lot about our mental conversation. We're going to talk a lot about mental health. We're going to learn how to be emotionally and mentally healthy. So with all of that said, let's get into this week's video. So, does the narcissist miss me? Okay, short answer is, let's just be frank, the narcissist, they're yes and no, right? And so we're gonna get into that. So first off, they don't miss you the way you miss them. You were in a relationship. You were trying to be a healthy person in a relationship. You were not in a relationship with someone else who is the same as you. So chances are you are the healthier one in the relationship, right? And so you miss the relationship for different reasons. You miss the love, you miss the connection. You were really involved in this relationship and this person wasn't, right? They loved you the best they possibly could, which was probably utter and complete dysfunction. So now let's just be real. If they ended the relationship and they discarded you, chances are they do not miss you because they are getting everything that they got from you, right? Because everything is about, what am I getting out of this relationship? They don't look at people as people, right? There's no empathy involved. And so because there's no empathy involved, there's nothing, I don't miss the caringness that you had, or how much you loved me, how much you tried to always help me, what you did for my dad when he was having surgery, and how you always, got along with my family. I didn't value you. And so those aren't things that a narcissist is going to miss. The only time they're going to miss things about you is, number one, if they're not getting it in their life right now, and number two, if what you did give contributed to them, helped them. So it is not until their new supply doesn't work out that they actually do, quote, miss you, so to speak. So, and they may not even miss you. They might miss maybe the person before you or whatever the case is. But if they ever do miss you, it's because what you brought to the table, they don't have right now. It's not that they miss you, so to speak, because they didn't love you the way you loved them. Now, a lot of people really ponder this question and they want to know the answer, and they just want to know that the narcissist actually does miss them, because that will make them feel good inside, quite frankly. It'll make them feel like they mattered. It'll make them feel like they were enough. It'll make them feel like everything that I brought to the table, that you saw me and that you loved me. And they haven't quite really accepted who it was that they were actually in a relationship with. So remember, they do miss you. They miss the attention. They miss the validation. They miss how you made them look. They miss what they got from you, not who you actually were inside. Now, if you are a person that's ending the relationship with a narcissist, then chances are they're going to miss you like crazy. Because if you are just abruptly ending this relationship, and maybe this came out of nowhere in the narcissist's mind, then they don't have any supply kind of lined up. They're not working on anything. And if that is the case, then yeah, they're gonna miss you. And so here comes love bombing, here comes hoovering, here comes all of that stuff that's going to try to kind of lure you back in. And I have done a video on the things that narcissists will say to get you back, and so I'll link that up above and you guys can check that out as well. So remember, it's all about how you made them look to the outside. So were you the trophy wife? Were you beautiful? Were you an accomplished man? Like, you know, did you give them the attention they needed, the validation, like all of those things? Because remember when I talk about self-parenting, I think I did this video a couple of videos back, and I talked about self-parenting and the 4 things that you need to be able to give yourself in order for you to be mentally and emotionally healthy. And that if you are a dysfunctional person, you're always looking for these things outside of yourself. That is a narcissist. A narcissist does not give anything to themselves. Everything else outside of themselves is helping them to fill their self-esteem. It's helping them to fill themselves up inside. Now, if you are a healthy person and you can give these things, all these 4 things to yourself, then number 1, you don't need it from people as much as you probably do now. If you are someone that is maybe codependent or narcissistic, if you are and you're watching this, you will be healthier, right? Because not everyone, I don't care who it is, your partner, your child, you know, a pastor or a teacher or a counselor or a coach, none of these people are going to always be able to be everything for you. No amount of money, no status, no, I, you know, have a membership at a country club and I live in this big house and I have this great car and I have these Louis Vuitton blah, blah, blahs. None of those things are going to be able to actually fill you up inside. And so being able to really learn how to parent yourself, and I'll link that video up here because that's really, really important, is the only way for you to become mentally and emotionally healthy. And since a narcissist is not and is not capable of actually doing it for themselves, they're always going to look for things outside of themselves to be able to do that. So they will miss you when you are gone if you are the source of all of those 4 things, right? If you give them the validation and et cetera, and I won't really go into that stuff right now, but they will miss you if you are the person that was basically filling them up inside. Now, if you're the one that did actually end this relationship, I always say that kind of hoovering phase or that verbal acknowledgement of like, hey, I will do this better and you know, I want to work on this and et cetera, is really difficult because then you're going to start to see signs of someone who is normal and healthy, right? And is actually really trying, but then it's going to be very inconsistent. So it's going to confuse you because at times you're going to see the person that of course you're projecting you want to see, right? Which is the normal healthy person, but then they're going to resort back to those old habits and old behaviors because they are who they are and they're incapable of really changing. So again, I hope that this video has helped you. If you would like any information on any of my coaching programs or working with me one-on-one, I always link everything down below of each of my videos. So I hope you have enjoyed this. Don't forget to also give it a thumbs up and I will see you next week.